Hello everyone, welcome to this special tournament here. What is it, Wardy? Tell the viewers what do we have.
WardiTV Invitational 11.
WardiTV Invitational 11 within the top right, spawning as the blue Terran. It is special. And in the bottom left, it is the red Protoss player creator.
Yeah, this is the... Every other event in existence decided to suddenly exist. And so we had to cancel our other event and make an event up.
And that's this one?
That is this one. This is the we need content this week event.
Well, we always need content, Wardy. Now, if the people here are watching and are thinking, well, I don't have any money laying around and I can't be bothered to disable my ad block, what is a good way to support the WardiTV channel?
Well, right
Could there
now...
be an alternative way for them to do that, Wardy?
Well, right now we actually have a special offer on Raid Shadow Legends. Would you believe it?
The Raid Shadow Legends, what do they need to do in order for you to get your big paycheck?
If you download the game, you click until the arrows stop telling you where to click. Boom, you're good. And
You're
then,
good?
if we get 300 people to do that, we run a $1,000 tournament.
$1,000 tournament.
And if you want to put another 10 minutes of AFKing in, we add $5 to the prize pool for anyone that hits level 10.
That's big.
That's huge. I tested out last night. I got level 10 in 13 minutes, and I clicked about 10 buttons.
Nice. That's good stuff.
That's great.
That's good stuff there. But you know what's also good stuff? We have
TvT.
an eBay block with a proxy racks. Now this is very uncommon. The eBay block isn't, but I haven't seen the proxy racks in combination with the eBay block very much. And I'm not entirely sure what the use of it is, because the eBay block shouldn't delay the cybercore, right? It just delays the timing of the nexus. And usually the main point of the eBay block is to delay the second gas of the toss so much that a lot of the early aggressive options coming from a gas first marine into factory become very difficult to stop for the Protoss player. But you see the second gas is pretty late, right? Like that should already be done quite a while ago usually. One worker does go down, so that is nice. Second worker will go down here. Yes, good microwave special.
Yeah, he's getting a lot out of it as the Stalker comes through, finally pushes it away, but it's a good start, especially when you got like that second Reaper follow-up, right? Because now you've got 2 Reapers to go in, get another probe or 2, and that can really start to hurt.
Yeah, we do have that factory follow-up here. Double Reaper. Ooh, it's actually going to be a tech lab. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 Hellions, especially when there is no Reaper wall, right? Then you can do these cool things where you split the 2 Reapers into the main, 2 Hellions or 3 Hellions in the natural. But that's not what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing a Twilight opener. Now, I'm surprised here, Wardy, because if you're getting proxied and the Terran plays into 2 gas, their tech is going to be quite quick. And things like mine drops with an armory, cloak banshees, they're all very viable options. And even though Blink is very cool, they don't make you detect things. So a lot of the time we do see that people opt either for the Stargate or even for sometimes for a Robo with like a fast 2-gate or something like that. And then with a delayed Twilight Council. Now, the quick Twilight Council can still go into a robotics facility, but if you get Blink before a Robo and you actually face one of these proxy starport cloak banshee options, I think usually you're just going to be in a lot of trouble. This is just luckily for creator a cloak banshee at home, so I think if he gets a robotics facility at some point in the future, he should still be fine, but it's going to be a little bit tense, and he definitely won't be able to scout anything with that observer. He needs to keep it at home, that's for sure.
Yep, going to be completely informationless. He has no idea what the follow-up looks like. He doesn't know how aggressive it is, because it's not impossible to be aggressive off like Marine Tank Banshee, right? So it's would have been great to get across, see that 3rd CC and know, okay, it's just a bit of harassment, but yeah, he'll be very stuck at home. And of course, if the observer goes to scout, then he's going to lose a lot of probes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if it goes to scout, he will lose some probes. Now, he does have a battery in the natural, but it's not even really covering the mineral line, is it? So I was gonna say that will help him out, but it might only help out the top gas there. First observer should come out very soon. We see Cloak very close to being finished. First bench is making its way across the map, and that first observer is actually going to go to the correct base, because even if that first observer is just slightly out of position, that can cost you 4 or 5 workers, and in PvT that is a really, really big deal, especially if you're playing a delayed 3rd base opener as Protoss.
Oh, Reaper's trying to get a probe as they will be unsuccessful, but now this Reaper's pulling these Stalkers out the front, and the Banshee loops around. into the natural. Observer is out the front as well, so this is annoying. I mean, he's going to go straight for the main, which is not necessarily a bad thing because obviously that's further away from where the stalkers are. So get straight into the main. Probe start to 4.
Yeah, this is a very, very big deal. Like I said, if you're playing these 2-base builds where you're focusing a lot on getting very little damage, I mean, you play 3-gate, you play your Robo, your Blink, all before 3rd base, your eco is just going to be delayed. And if you lose too many workers, oh, bit of a miss micro there by SpeCial. This is not an area where the Banshee can stay.
Yeah.
That was...
It almost felt
odd.
like he kind of knew it and then he tried it anyway and then... Yeah, I mean, where do you go though? I guess you just have to commit out the right side and try.
Yeah, I think he had to. He just had to commit to the top a bit earlier. I think he should have probably floated that direction. Now, Banshee is gonna go here. Now this looks stupid, and people are gonna be like, "Well, he knew the stalkers were there," but it's of course a bit of a mind game as well. Where what is the chance that Creator is gonna leave his stalkers and his observer there, and you hope that he, you know, maybe moves a little bit to the middle, and that you can get 3-4 more workers. Banshees do lose their value a lot over time, especially if you only have a single one remaining. A battery will deal with that for, well, about 20-25 seconds until they kill the battery. So yeah, it's kind of understandable that SpeCial tried that. He did get some decent damage, but now there is a couple of stalkers on the map which might be able to pick up a marine here and there.
Forward, he will get a couple of marines, but then he's going to start taking tank fire. It's time to get away. Try to go for the tank, which he was fairly close to, but it seemed unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 6 stalkers, you can 2-volley a tank, right? 11 stalker shots is enough to 1-shot a tank. But it never really seems to line up. You know, stalkers fire earlier, so you'd need to move into tank range and then properly shoot. But there's a tank behind there, so yeah, it looked a bit too dangerous. We do see Creator trying for another play. Can you blink out through that top side? I'm not sure if you can.
Yeah,
I think maybe with a shift blink, right?
Yeah, shift blink like across the most narrow area.
Yeah.
I don't see why that wouldn't work, but he got out of there.
He got out of there. Yeah, I got 2 workers. It's not the biggest of the deal, but it's these small pickups that do add up, and it feels scary for SpeCial to just willy-nilly move out when stuff like that is happening. A lot of the time we see the Koreans actually really commit with that stalker harass, even go up to lately like 9-10 stalkers and just keep them super aggressive. And whenever Terran just slightly moves out of tank range, they're like, all right, time to pick up 1-2 marines, and then they keep doing this over time. And a lot of the Koreans, this is really more of a Korean thing. They're a lot better at this than any of the Europeans that I know.
Creator's gonna opt for Dark Shrine behind it as well. Always nice. I feel like Creator really likes to accelerate going into like late game, right? Like a lot of people wouldn't go Dark Shrine just yet, or do you think that's something which is right to go now?
It's rare to see in this type of situation to see someone rush everything at once, right? Disruptor, Dark Shrine, second Forge, 4th base, second Robo. It's a lot, and because of that, Creator moves on the map not to attack but to control areas with his Colossi. Now, this looks very fun if it goes well, but if a good interference matrix gets cast and he misses half a force field, he actually just dies. Like, the Marauder count here is big enough that 2 Colossi won't really just hold up. There's no charge lots in this army, or well, there's a single one in this army. He's also using a Prism for harassment, so a lot of his army supply isn't even really with his army. He needs to be so careful around these ramps here, and he is delaying this move out. Raven is still, well, barely holding on. Single Stalker shot will put it down, but SpeCial is not letting that happen. Oh my god. He is letting it happen.
Wow. Zeld's in the main base in the meantime, who's going to get in, and that's a lot of SCVs going down. It's always bad when you see like a Marauder in a tank. It's like, that's not going to kill very much, so that's a lot of SCVs that fall, and then the Zealots might even turn to clean up everything in this main so far, which is really good. Now, of course, SpeCial gets a good position across the map, and Creator doesn't have a lot, but he's got a good army to chip away, right? If you get a few sets of Disruptor shots off, it can go a long way over time.
Yeah, I think he should start sprinkling DTs towards the tanks as well. Either to just get scans or get some damage on these tanks. It's always nice to have. Good movement here by Creator, by the way, who kind of manages to secure his 3rd base. Main base still very, very vulnerable. There's 2 Archons there, but that's most likely not going to cut it. SpeCial too afraid to leave his tanks behind like that, though, as Creator moves in. Not a lot of charge balls with this army, and army supply still heavily in favor of SpeCial here.
Yeah, those 2 Disruptors getting chased down on the 3rd base really sucked earlier, right? I mean, they would have done so much, even just to force the bio to back away a little bit. Maybe you get on top of the tanks a bit faster. he does clean the tanks out, and there's only a couple of units left here. But Creator has lost a lot, and SpeCial does have reinforcements coming across the map in a world where both players took a lot of economy hits. And now kind of... it just feels like SpeCial's got a bit too much on the army side. He just cleaned out a lot while losing his own army.
But with a super battery, it depends a bit where he attacks. There was an 8 kill DT, by the way. There still is. This guy's done a lot of work for his clan. There's a lot of Vikings here, and the Vikings, there's 16 supply of Vikings, and they're going to be fighting 6 supply of Colossi, which, I mean, the Colossi is going to die, but that means there's just not that much on the ground, really. If you look at the armies, I actually think that SpeCial's going to have a very rough time engaging into this.
Yeah? Yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. I mean, he's got 1 tank sieging up, a couple of Archons. I like the Archons, and the Zealot's going to come through. There goes the Colossus. Now the Vikings have to maybe land to help out, but take a little while to decide what he wants to do. Brings them up top. Obviously wanted to land them maybe kind of behind the bio so he can keep them alive in case of another Colossus in the future. More Zealots warping in, going to be pretty good to make the hold, right? I mean, Zealots are so tanky in these scenarios, and so much of this now is just Vikings and a couple of Marines. Not enough.
Yeah, it's funny because both of us kind of looked at the supply or at the army supply after the push. We're like, wow, this looks good, but not really realizing that 20 supply of that was basically in Vikings, which are really not that great. And also, there was a very high count of medevacs. There still was 5-6 medevacs, I believe. So there's a lot of units that, although they are good at supporting, they're not that great at actually fighting. And the DPS of that army, the damage output that SpeCial had, just didn't really seem to be enough. Now, that being said, he somehow managed to kind of come back in the worker count. He has a fort base on the way as well. Now, there is a couple of issues here, of course, as the upgrades for Creator are quite far ahead. The worker count for Creator is still ahead as well. We have double lip harass on the fort base right now, trying to get a couple of workers, but instead I think he's just going to lose these liberators, as once again, this is not a dead space either. 2 liberators do go down. Triple drop heading towards the main base. What do you think, Wardy?
I think Jagannath has just not got a lot of dead space, mate. I feel like SpeCial's done a great job of showing us that this game. That's nice, catching an upgrade on the Forge. Especially when you look at SpeCial's upgrades. He's down 1-1 against 2-2. I mean, imagine he's down 3-3 against 1-1, right, as well. So
yeah,
now he slows that down, and Creator actually cancels his other upgrade.
No, it finished.
That was +2 armor?
Sorry,
my
+2
bad,
armor
my
was
bad.
super close. If he would have
+3,
sniped that, I actually think that might have been a little bit better, because it was so far already. But yeah, another robo going down here for Creator. So once again, going into that double robo, we have a 5th CC. Oh no, the CC just finished, sorry. I thought that was already finished, so another one. A couple of extra barracks being added, gonna go up to 7, I do believe. No second starport yet. And we do have drilling claws, by the way, so maybe we're gonna see some drilling claws drop with whatever it is that SpeCial wants to do from here. I'm surprised by how passive Creator is at this point. I feel like he has an insane timing. He's up in army supply. He has very good map vision, observers, units positioned on the map. He has an army advantage. He has an upgrade advantage, and I feel like his army is of higher quality as well. I mean, he's fighting against pure Marine Marauder with Colossi, Archon, Immortal, Disruptor. Like, that is a bit of a mismatch, honestly. And the moment you give SpeCial a little bit of space, he's gonna try to annoy you. He's gonna try to drop. You're gonna have to split your army, and then, well, yeah, SpeCial's just gonna keep expanding. That's what he's good at. He keeps expanding, and he tries to do multitasking stuff. And even if he isn't really getting damage done, he's getting the game to a position where he can transition into a late game that he probably prefers over the current units that he has. So every single time I see an opening here for Creator, I'm like, I'm wondering why he doesn't jump on it.
Yeah, especially because he has so much vision, right? Like, he knows what he's fighting, he knows what he's up against. He's definitely had time to figure all of that out. Like, yeah, it was a weirder game earlier, but everything's been kind of good for him apart from getting upgrade cancelled in the last couple minutes. So I feel like the pieces of the puzzle are all there. I feel like he should be able to put them together. All right, now he's just sitting back, and now SpeCial gets to max out. You know, he gets up to Ghosts, and that was something we weren't even really considering before, but that's a huge addition to this Terran army. That helps you fight this Protoss army big time. Your Archons become less effective, Zealots are going to be a little worse. I mean, it really takes away so much of what you can do and makes those Disruptors less scary, because then they're much more easily targeted down.
Yeah, definitely. We're still really missing some type of air just in general from Special, still on a single starport as well. And of course, there's only 2 Colossi, so it's not the biggest of deals, but once this Disruptor count starts growing and you don't have Tank or Liberator, you're just gonna get absolutely destroyed in every single straight-up engagement, and that's why Special once again decides to go for a semi-base trade. A couple of DTs are at home. Is there scans available? I think there should be, as one scan gets used, blinks out of the detection range though. Disruptor shot hits nothing. This base is gonna fall. I think Special can't really force a full-on base trade though, which is really an issue.
Yeah, it's this force should go down. You know, DT swiping it down, a few extra warpins, and that's the problem, right? It's just this is a drop rather than a base trade for Special. So yeah, okay, he's doing great initially, but this shouldn't do that much forever. I think even now this army trying to get through. I mean, the choke points are helping Special more than anything else. Yeah.
That was very, very well done by Special. They're really abusing the Protoss base against the Protoss. Now, I think with the next warping of, what is this? This is 90 Ts total. These Marines are gonna absolutely fall like flies. And like I said, the issue here was that Special had no real backbone at home. He had nothing he could depend on. No tanks, no siege units to keep ramps safe.
The observers died.
Yeah. Imagine if that army was on the map and there was like 4 tanks and 6 liberators or something at home. Then we're looking at a different game. Of course, that's not the case here. And now we see Creator marching on with still a very good economy. His army is running a little bit low. He does need to be careful, but there's only 4 or 5 Marauders left. I think he's going to get the cleanup on this, but the next wave that Creator can create is just going to be so much bigger than whatever it is that Special has planned.
There's so many Zealots. The only good news is there's not a lot to shut down medevac, so you can lift, run away, and maybe fight another day for the moment. Yeah, I mean, Creator just running out of steam. If that reinforcement had been here a little sooner or so, but now the DTs are here as well. They blink straight in, realize that maybe isn't quite going to work so well, so he morphs the Archons, then blows one up with the Disruptor. A little messy here still as the Zealots go in for that topside base. Obviously, you deny that, you deny mine, and in theory, you should continue to just overwhelm in terms of your economy. And as Zealots and DTs continue through, it looks as though Creator's going to be good to clean this one up and to win this one out.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
took a little while.
That last fight was just like, get out of my game, you know? Yeah. Like he blinks in, instant morph into Archons. Yeah, I mean, there's... Yeah, you're not gonna look at that fight and think, well, I might want to copy that in my games. Like that was not it. But I mean, he'd won already. Actually, was on 18 gateways. I didn't quite know what his infrastructure was like, but of course, after that initial push from Special, Creator just was ahead economically. And even though sometimes the supplies still looked a little bit close, the investments that Creator could make with that eco lead were showing very, very bigly in the infrastructure that he had. And I think that's also part what kind of lost Special that. we're in the good crowd now, so this should be really yeah, this should skyrocket now. That is, after this game I'm expecting 25, 30, and then it just exponentially grows until your entire chat has Raid Shadow Legends, and you need to start like with a Sharpie. You need to write like a 5 instead of a 300, you know? That's how fast it will go, Wardy. You need to change the stream overlay yourself. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, it's a fake proxy.
Okay.
Huh.
I did see that SCV moving, but it wasn't really at the right time to go proxy or anything. And obviously it didn't make sense for an SCV to be moving out when the other one was building the depot.
You know who loved this? You know who's watching this at home right now and thinking, man, this is great? U-Thermal. He does this so much. The freaking... You'll scout your entire side on the map against U-Thermal, and then you realize his barracks was just in his natural. I was like, oh my god. All this attention and all this... for nothing. And Special apparently is the same. It's cool. It's not super big. I think you should open with Marine as well when you play like this. I really dislike when people open Reaper here. Oh. Yeah, it's a big
Marine?
Because then you still get your quick tech. And this Reaper is not going to really be able to do anything anyway, right? Because it's just going to hit at a regular timing, especially now that it gets spotted. He'd much rather have a Marine, I can tell you that much. Because the Reaper it gives so much safety for the toss. It's like another, what is it, maybe 7-8 seconds added to the time you can respond to any type of factory tag attack, or like a starport plus factory attack. It's very frustrating.
Well, Creator, He's gonna get his probe back home. We'll see the Reaper coming around. Gonna see the second Reaper again. How do you feel playing against two Reapers?
I don't mind that. Once again, on this map, this is the only map in the map pool where a Reaper wall isn't possible. So 2 Reaper is almost always okay on this map. If your opponent opens Reaper with this, I think you're forced to build a battery in your main, by the way. A lot of the tosses have been doing that in general. He built 2 pylons in his main.
Wait, where are they? There it is. I couldn't even see it. It was melded in with the assimilator.
Wait, this wasn't core first, was it?
I actually didn't pay attention.
This feels like a Nexus before core, which is quite common on Romanticide, but it's very risky if you scout a proxy. I think he might lose this Stalker, or at least take a little bit of hull damage on it. Second Reaper joins in. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a big deal.
There's too much here. He's definitely going to lose it. Reaper doesn't get saved, which is a little bit of a shame.
Yeah, that was
goes
poor.
down, and now the Adept comes out, gets a couple shots off, at least turns the Hellion around, and is shading back to defend too. This is good, right? Because now this Hellion is very low HP, so unlikely it's going to get in for much. Reaper gets in, but
Reaper's going to die as well.
This is well played by Creator.
This started so well for SpeCial with that free Stalker kill, but losing that Reaper is already painful. I think the Reaper doesn't die there with that last Stalker shot, and he heals a little bit on it. He actually can kill 4 or 5 workers here on natural. We're looking at a very difficult game for Creator, but so far he's feeling very, very oots 4-gate.
So
and it's an... Sorry?
I was just going to say very aggro after this setup, but against an armory from SpeCial as well, there's a very good chance you can find some damage here.
This is a 5-gate Wardy. This is not even a build. 6. This is definitely not a build anymore. He's just making things up at this point. You know, I can add 2 more gates. The funny thing with the 6 gates is that usually you don't even have more units until after like the 4th cycle or something like that. And you're completely ruining your chances for any potential trade-offs with like... oh, this is so freaking good for Creator here, by the way. It's mech.
I'm just... okay, this game just took some weird turns, huh?
It really did.
Yeah.
Blink is not done yet, but I mean he scouts absolutely everything here. He sees an ungodly amount of gates. He's like, well, I'm gonna catch you, Sinner. Starts building some bunkers. Viking. I'm never sure what's better. If you want a Viking or a Banshee for added DPS. Some people even like a Raven, so they can always clear the observer without having to use scans. I think he needs a bunker on the high ground as well. Honestly, his tanks are gonna be so late though, Wardy.
Yeah, I mean, what does he even have right now? Right, a Viking, 10 Marines. It's just so little to really work with. Wouldn't mind at least buying some time and keeping Creator busy, and feels like Creator's obviously just not had any progress across the map yet. So, third base on the way up. This is really taking some some interesting directions. Now a Robo-Bait too, so we're not even going to see any Stalker pressure after all of this.
I bet he's glad he built 6 gates.
Yeah. Well, at least now he doesn't have to build them on
It's 5. It's 5. I can't count. Did he cancel one?
He must have canceled one. He definitely.
Yeah, there was one up next to the right gas. I remember. Oof, yeah, this is. I feel like actually, if he would have played 4-gate, he would have had a lot more stalkers here and perhaps even some counter pressure. Now he loses his. Wait, did he recall? He recalled his prism. Yeah, okay. He was losing his prism there. I mean, his Nexus is same timing as the CC. He's equaling workers, and I don't think he's quite aware that he's playing against mech yet. He's getting a Robo-Bay, which is something you don't really want. It's not ideal. +1 is about to finish it well for SpeCial, and that's real nice. You know, it's just nice to be up in upgrades when you are playing mech. It feels good. He's gonna be able to get +2 very quickly, and I'm not quite sure how SpeCial plays mech, if it's like a passive turtly kind of mech, but in my mind he's more of a fighter kind of guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him hit a little bit of a timing. Ooh, he floats over the CC before he gets the orbital, even though he isn't even oversaturated on his natural. That's odd.
Yeah, I usually morph in the orbital because then it starts building energy at least.
If he builds a planetary here, I think I'll leave the game and you can cast the rest of this tournament by yourself. It's not for me anymore.
I don't.
He's starting an eBay. You gotta be.
Oh my god, he's starting an SUV. He's gonna build a planetary.
It's a planetary.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's an orbital. I would have left Wardy.
Yeah, it's when he
I would
saw
have
the
committed to the
SCV.
bid.
I was told. I thought it was good.
And it lined up perfectly with the eBay as well. So I was like, this is it. This is seeing a planetary here. But no. Phew. Special save the day. Ooh, Factory 4 and 5 coming out. Mines being added in the mix.
This is something that TY popularized a bit in mech, right? This kind of addition of mines, and using that really helps secure the 3 bases, because then it does weaken that kind of zealot stalker sort of I'm just gonna run in and try and kill you kind of mode.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, though, on this map,
It doesn't really
I feel
work.
like, well, yeah, good luck, you know? Like, there's a depot on the front.
Yeah.
Like, the left side is awful. Like, it's super easy to spot anything coming in, except apparently this blinking. He even walks up with a Colossi. This is so cool.
That's pretty fun. He's going to get himself a Raven, but now he's going to lose the Colossus. Well, it's not the biggest loss considering he's playing against mech here, right? So,
Yeah, usually that's not a trait you want to take, but because it's against mech, I'd be like, moi. And just, of course, as I say that, we see Cyclone Hellion, which Colossi are okay against, but ooh, there's a lot of gates already. He gets many gateways very quickly every time. Even before 4th base, he goes up to 10 gate. That's wild. I think he actually wants to go for a bust.
yeah.
Or at least wanted to. I'm not sure if he still does. I mean, this is crazy talk, no? The going up this ramp into a depot. How many? There's only 4 tanks.
But I don't think this... But the depots, man, like, they take so long to get... No. He blinks up. He is going to bring the Archons in with the
No,
Prism.
This is okay. This is fine.
Wow, it actually is, isn't it? Protoss
Yeah,
is
this
a
is
pretty
okay.
great captain.
Pros
You have
are
a call
pretty
down?
great. Yeah, there was 4 mines in the medevac though. That's a solid 10 supply. This is
And the mines are so good at
painful
dealing
to
with
watch.
this as well.
Craters wins. What the hell? I guess this is why I don't see mech too much at the high level.
I mean, these attacks always are really good against mech, right? It's just... I feel like this happens a lot where you're like, surely there's no way you can bust them. But actually, mech is just that bad in the build-up process.
Yeah, it's really not great. I do have to admit that I think if these mines are there, that will help a little bit. Especially with that first wave of zealots on the depots, you know? But there's still a lot of tank power in those Archons, and yeah, seems like that is enough.
GG.
Unbelievable. The 5-gate blink, his early game was quite nice though, I have to admit. I mean, this was a Reaper Hellion that killed a single SCV.